That okay. So when you're drawing, just repeat it.
When I'm drawing, I use large format paper.
Why?
Because I believe that you can't truly I'm drawing figures, and I believe that you can't actually capture the true figure, the weight, the balance, the curvature of the line if you're sitting there on a small thing going like this. I think it's just too controlled.
Why not use a tablet? Why not use a tablet?
Because a tablet is too small, the screen is not big enough.
But it's still the same thing. Why is
A
this?
tablet is like this size.
Okay.
A piece of paper is this size.
Okay.
So
And why does it make a difference?
to me, it.
But a tablet has no mass. There's no. You can undo.
I don't use an eraser when I draw.
Why
You're
not?
not supposed to use an eraser.
Why not?
Because it just trains you that you can erase everything. I'm not trying to perfect something. I'm trying to capture something very quickly, and I don't want it to be precious. If I'm using an eraser, then I'm spending half the time erasing than I am drawing. This is gestural figural drawing where you have maximum 1 hour to get the subject down. I find, for me, not for everybody, but for me, that my drawing, the way that I like to draw is I like to stand. I like to have the large sheet of paper on an easel. I use a black Sharpie. I don't give a the paper is very cheap. And when I stand, I'm actually trying to copy the gesture of the model's pose. I'm actually trying to copy the gesture so I can determine, like, yeah, all my weight is on this leg, so that line needs to be thicker. My arm is raised, this line needs to be lighter. So I'm trying to actually feel the body that I'm drawing by standing and putting that on paper. I also think that if you're drawing, it kind of constrains your hand movement, so you only kind of you're stuck in the loop of drawing a particular. Your hand moves in the same way each time you're drawing, but if you think about the body and like movement and 3D volume and space, lines don't always go left to right or top to bottom. You actually have to rotate your body and go the opposite direction or twist the pen, and you can't do that when you sit it down. And the reason why Renaissance drawings are like so dynamic is because the pen is not going in the same direction each time. You have competing curves, and it's visually more energetic. And I find that if you're sit down, it doesn't quite carry that. You don't quite get the full experience of trying to draw something from the eye and then trying to feel yourself in it. So I am large format, no eraser, Sharpie, so that I actually can't erase it. It's a Sharpie. And right now I'm only working on newsprint paper, cheapo newsprint, and I throw virtually everything away by the end of the class or the end of the figure drawing session. Then I just start all over again, and my plan is to do that for a year. When I do paint, because now I'm going to have to spend another year like learning color, but when I do make drawings, they're going to be like large format. I'm not doing these like little small things. I hate working small. I just think it's too. Some people can do it, it's just not for me. I like to see the entire thing at once. I like to see the big thing at once. I like to have it over there. I like to get up close to it, and I actually like to step 7 feet back from it. I like to see it in different angles.
My friend Amber believes that to learn something well, if it's just bigger, you learn it better. Like chess, anything. Why? It's just the same.
I think what happens is when you draw small, it gets a little fussy. It gets a little tight. Like now, look, I'm interested in figural gestural drawing, like gestural figure drawing. Like you have a pose for 2 minutes and it's a gesture. You have to capture that movement pretty damn quickly, because in 2 minutes it's going to be a whole other movement. So you're training yourself to very quickly capture not just what you've seen, but weight, movement, line, distribution, body in space, the feeling of something. I think when you draw very small and controlled, which is great for some types of drawings, but for like figural gesture drawing, I think that makes the end result too tight, too controlled, not expressive enough, too safe. I think having an eraser triples that. I just think it's too safe. And I want to capture the whole view rather than narrow in on the detail. I think close-ups are for like detail, but I've always believed that you render in the whole thing at first, and then you come in and start adding the details. But people have different ways of working.
What about using augmented reality, like just drawing 3D lines in space with a computer?
I did that with your VR headset in, was it here in Portland or something? That was actually really fun because I was drawing it and then I could like make a drawing to the right of me, make a drawing behind me, and then I could walk around the drawing. I was drawing gestures, figures, bodies. I thought it was really interesting. I'm a little bit old school in that I'm Gen X. I actually like the smell of the paper. I like the tactile qualities that a digital rendering just doesn't provide to me. Like you can say add texture on a drawing, but I actually like feeling the grit of the paper, feeling the weight of the brush, feeling that it has water in it or it's dry in it, feeling, and you know, even with the Sharpie, I found like in a Sharpie, which you wouldn't think so, Sharpie marker, I can have 100 different types of lines in one Sharpie. And also when the Sharpie goes from pure wet, like brand new Sharpie to older Sharpie, it creates a different kind of line. And that's also really interesting to me. So I find that it's kind of like the Tesla, like it's a little bit more automatic, a little bit more intuitive, and I can get to what I want faster without having to open my computer, open the app, swipe to open the car, and then put my phone away and put my glasses away. With Sharpie, I can just pick it up. I don't have to have my glasses on. It's like one action, and I can immediately feel what I'm trying to, what I'm looking at, which is it's not just being anatomical. It's like feeling your way through the body, feeling weight, feeling energy, feeling passivity, and then you have also like trying to understand like how the bones of different joints work and anatomy, which is what I bought the other day. Because I bought a pretty great anatomy book by a Japanese artist.
Do you think people are being injured by just using computers then for all of their artistic medium?
I don't know. I mean, you could have made that. Photography certainly was upset. Photography was never considered a fine art when it first came on the scene. Just like watercolors were never considered a fine art in and of itself. They were considered preparatory sketches. Photography was also not considered a fine art, and it eventually changed. I don't know actually where photography's role is now. It's pretty interesting. Like downstairs, you have a large photo. I think it's by Glenn Legon or Jeff Orr. Can't quite remember. It's this series of photographs that he took in British Columbia somewhere where there were these sort of staged accidents. Those images, like the overturned bus, the people on the street, the accident in the suburban neighborhood, I believe, if I recall correctly, those were created pre-Photoshop. So he actually had the lighting come in, put the bus in the street, hired the people to be there.
Yeah, those are, I think, 3/4 scale.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah, and that's like 10 foot wide by 7 foot tall or something. It's gigantic, right? That gigantic painting in the basement.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's on a metal plate.
It's a photograph. We're talking about the photograph.
It's a photograph, but it's on a giant metal plate.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's extremely heavy, extremely large.
Is it? I didn't know it was heavy. I didn't try to lift it.
It's a beast.
Anyways, that was now you can just kind of recreate that in Photoshop, right? So it's sort of interesting.
Yeah, or Midjourney. Midjourney could generate that scene.
You can generate. The thing I've noticed about a lot of AI art that I've seen, and admittedly I have not seen a lot. I've only seen the very kind of top layer of it. Is that because of the software or whatever, it does tend to reduce expression to certain common denominators. Like a friend of mine was very much interested in like AI generated women warriors and stuff.
Frazetta.
Yeah,
Boris
whatever.
Vallejo.
But everything, like, so they would send, so you have these guys and they're making these images and they're like, you know, getting like clicks on YouTube or Instagram.
Yeah,
They get money
regurgitating
from that, yeah.
tropes.
But across, you know, you could change the hair, you could change your lips, you could change your eyes, but virtually everything kind of looked the same. Like I just couldn't, like, it just sort of looked the same to me. Now, I'm not saying that fine art, like, you could argue that all Jackson Pollock's works look the same to somebody. To me, they don't. But,
Just a bunch of chaotic noise and lines and dots.
Yeah.
And stuff.
But I'm still really interested in, I'm very much someone who likes to work with my hands. And I don't actually like to go on a computer screen, like work in like a small, like, confined, 20-inch space and have to wear my glasses. I just like, and then have to like click a mouse to pick up like a paintbrush. It's just so not me. So it's just a personal preference. But do I think that it might contain the type of artistic production? I would say so. Like any media is going to kind of somehow determine, unless you're truly exceptional, but it is going to kind of create a generic quality. If your media is only computer generated imagery, no matter how fantastical it can be, how many different kind of image groups and distortions of media, of kind of digitally generated media you can put in it, it's still going to have this kind of flat baseline, just the way that virtually all like ceramics have kind of a flat baseline, painting, whatever. Although I think painting itself is a little bit more.
I'm interested in the composition of, Renaissance paintings often were compositions like collages almost. There's a certain dog has a certain conceptual motif, and then the queen and the chair and all the elements are kind of collaged together, and there's an overall story told at different scales in the image.
Yeah, pre-Renaissance.
Well, I don't know. Do you think that the Raphael work and stuff like that had left that behind? Had left the idea of composition behind?
No, but in pre-Renaissance, you have different planes and different scales and different time periods all on one image frame. Where I think Renaissance, the body became more natural. The perspective became part of it. Things weren't reduced to a very flat plane.
So composition, but overall composition of a scene. I guess the critique I'm saying is that most AI doesn't seem to have a very good. Like, yes, the drawings are perfect technically, but I find that the composition often is a little bit starved.
Oh, interesting.
Like it doesn't. There's a meta framing around the arrangement of parts and the parts that are chosen, and that often feels clumsy.
Oh, interesting. I haven't seen enough to.
Okay.
I've only seen kind of more pop culture.
Yeah,
Sexy anime manga girls
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah.
I don't really look at fine art produced through AI.
Oh, okay. I'm curious, obviously, about the AI stuff, but I do think it might be hurting us a little bit to work only in those mediums.
I think the equivalency I could give to you is that painting with a paintbrush on a big sheet of paper in a live classroom is versus painting on AI is the same as you saying, well, I'm going to go for a hike in the woods and smell it and feel it and the wind, versus you just saying, I'm going to go for a walk in the woods and then open your computer.
A VR version.
Yeah, there you are. I don't think it's quite the same thing.
The labor is important, or the.
No, it's experiential. It's like it activates all the senses.
So real painting activates all the senses?
I think so.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
For example, do you get the same sense of being in the woods if you go through AI simulated woods versus actually?
Well, of course not.
Well, it's the same thing. That's the best. I think I actually made the point so that you can kind of connect.